the case that we filed at the French courts, as Dr. Kwa said, in December 2009, has actually progressed along, even to our surprise, that it has been able to move to the next stage, which is the open court in France. Now, this initial stage is the inquiry stage, where the prosecution actually does its investigations in a manner which is closed. And once they find there is sufficient evidence to take the case to the next level, then they would actually appoint a judge and an investigating officer and a judicial judge to actually have an open trial. And in the open trial is where witnesses can be subpoenaed, and documents that we have actually tried to obtain would be actually be made available to Suaram and be made public to Suaram and to interested groups. So it's actually very, very important that we're here today to tell you that the case that we filed, the case is very specific on the 114 million euro, which was the commissions that was paid out to this company called Perimeca. And we know that Perimeca is the daughter company of Ombak Laut, in which we know that Abdul Razak Baginda's wife is one of the major shareholders. So herein lies the link between the death of Altantuya and the payout of the commissions. Okay, and I'm also able to tell you a couple of things that came out as a result of the findings. Although the findings are still not yet made completely formal and public, through our lawyers in France, we were also informed that amazingly, but maybe not surprisingly, it wasn't just the 114 million euro that was the money being investigated. But in the course of investigations, they had actually discovered another 2 commissions paid out in relation to the sale of this deal. The first is 30 million euro, and this was paid out to Thales, which is a shipping company. Yeah, it's spelled Thales. And another 2.5 million euro that had gone out to unknown recipients. And these payments were actually made through very dubious means. With globalization, anything is possible. They actually chose a very unknown Eastern European country called Malta. Have you heard of Malta? Apparently it's a nice place to... Mediterranean, whatever, but on this side, Malta was chosen because it is generally small, unknown, and more like a holiday destination than any other thing, where they had appointed a company called GIFEN, G-I-F-E-N, to actually make the payouts to all these different persons. And in these payouts, we also shockingly discovered that there were air tickets that were paid out for trips that were made by Abdul Razak Baginda and Altantuya, and perhaps even more individuals. Now, the other individuals that are being investigated are still unknown, so we're unable to give you more names at this stage, but the investigations are ongoing. And more information would be surfaced, as our lawyers have advised us, but this is what we can tell you as of now. And this is what we can also tell you is that the Malaysian case, as Dr. Kwa pointed out, is linked with the Taiwan and the Karachi case, because the same individuals from DCNS, the shipping company in France, are involved in actually making deals and selling arms to third world countries. So the multinational company in France is actually looking for ways in which they can negotiate dishonest deals, or deals which are very profitable for them with third world countries. And this is what the case is really about. It's a case of corruption, it's a case of mismanagement of funds, and it is a case of misuse of Malaysian and French people's taxpayers' money. So it is really about our money that's being used to service um, a system of procurement which is very closed and which is very secret. So at this stage, we are about to move into the open court level, where Suaram has actually gone through the process of applying for an instruction judge. Um, that's how it's termed in the French system. An instruction judge, once appointed, will actually be able to have the mandate to open up the investigations and subpoena witnesses and so on. So we welcome Minister Zahid's comments that he's willing to be probed, because there's been really no movement on this side. And you know that there have been many calls from various quarters, not just Suaram, but many other groups, asking, demanding, and insisting that MACC open up investigations into these allegations. But as of today, MACC has been silent. There's been no investigations has been opened up on this. And the case and the murder of Altan Tuya has been closed off very abruptly. And even parliamentarians in parliament, when questions are asked, are only given short, incomprehensible answers, which are sometimes very inconsistent. Even when it comes to the amount of the purchase of the submarines, there's so much inconsistency in that regard. Why did Suaram take the case to the French courts? And the reason is because the avenues here seem to be all blocked, because there are important persons, important names that could be involved, and we don't even see MACC taking the initiative to investigate such serious misappropriation of funds. One of the other motivations is, of course, that we would be able to access information such as the contracts of the sale between DCNS and the Malaysian government. Here we are bound by the Official Secrets Act, and so it's very, very important that Malaysians know, and Malaysians have the right to be informed of what kind of defense procurement, what kind of policies are in place, how our taxpayers' money are being used, and what it is being used for. So the French case is actually helping build a momentum for the need for greater information, for the need for greater clarification for us Malaysians. So we hope that the Malaysian government, Defence Ministry, and even former defence ministers at the time that the submarine was purchased will testify in the French court when the time comes, because the truth is not yet known, and we all deserve to know the truth. So we're also at this stage that we've reached a situation where we need to raise funds for the legal case in the courts over there. And that's one of the reasons why we're having this press conference, is because we want to tell you that we're opening up a legal fund called Scorpene, and we'll be organizing several events. We need the support of every single Malaysian, rich, not so rich, even poor, even a ringgit, 2 ringgit, everything counts, because it's really about us taking an interest in wanting to find out details and wanting to find out the truth. So we will be welcoming our lawyers from France, a very, very senior, very well-known lawyer. His name is William Bourdon. William, and spelled Bourdon, B-O-U-R-D-O-N. I think his name is also in the press statement that's given to you. He will be coming in July, and he will be speaking to the Malaysian public on all the details of the French legal system, where our case is at the present moment, how it's going to progress, what kind of details may be available by that time, and so on. So he will be speaking at some of the events that we will be organizing. And together with all Malaysians, we hope that this event will actually generate funds, of course, and generate a lot more interest on the whole issue of transparency and accountability. So that question of whether it's enough, how much, and all, is It's just a startup fund, actually. We will need to raise even more money as the case progresses. But for this target, we're hoping to get 100,000 ringgit, which is actually nothing in euros. It's about 25k euro, probably just enough to do the first filing, and then we need to come back to you again. Please donate, please be generous.